coached middle school boys. I coached
Okay.
middle school girls.
What was it like? What's the
I've coached
difference?
the difference is with girls and guys is that guys are more daring and they step outside the box a lot more. Girls
Mm.
are more, they stay on the path. They're airy, do exactly what's asked, and keep going.
Yeah. So that's life, right? That's what they say. Boys always hard head, girls do
Yes.
exactly that. I guess we'll give the ladies some kudos on that. Give the ladies that. Like I said, I was telling people about using their time wisely, and this is a lot of we're dealing with the coronavirus right now, and so we want to know, like, what are things that they can do. I mean, I offered a couple suggestions. I see a lot of challenges on Instagram and Facebook, so I told them about. I see the push-up challenge. I said I have not seen an ab work challenge yet, so maybe somebody will inspire themselves and start that up. I see you got a challenge. You got your little Peloton, and we be getting money in there.
I don't. It's not a challenge. I am very much so. You got to take care of yourself before you can help somebody else take care of themselves.
Right.
So my thing is working out first thing in the morning. Hashtag get it in before 8. Since the quarantine has happened, it has not always happened because I stayed up late watching Netflix and watching TV and reading different stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say is that take care of your mental first. Work out, do what you need to do for yourself, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been we're at a month now. I think a month.
Yeah, we're about a month now.
Off of work at a month. I think everybody's month looks different of things that they're doing, how they're taking care of how they're taking care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the biggest things I think for the young people is to continue to challenge yourself because when everything gets back up and running and going, and it's going to be go time, and you're not going to have time to boot back up. So it's going to be time to go. So challenge yourself, and I would. For the young people, reach out to people. People you don't know. It's very uncomfortable. Ask for advice. Ask questions. Just challenge yourself. Don't lay around all day and watch TV and watch Netflix. Get your schoolwork done. Stay on top of that because that is something that coaches look at all the time.
Correct. Now, y'all listening to my show, and I see a lot of people feeding on, a lot of adults on here, and a lot of kids. So this is Division 1A. This is it. This ACC right here. Okay? You can hear it from yourself. It's not Coach Don. It's not your mom. It's not your pops, your uncle, who's ever saying do what you got to do. You want to get to this level. This is the truth. She's telling you exactly what you guys got to do. Challenge yourself and apply yourself and use your time wisely, because if you don't, then you'll find yourself in a bad spot. Not to say that you can't come out of it, but it's a bad spot. One thing I wanted to ask you was, who inspired you to, I mean, my slogan is stay driven, that's striving to greatness, right? So who inspired you to stay driven towards your game?
My biggest advocate for me that pushed me were my parents. My parents came from nothing. They'll never say that, but to hear them talk about it compared to what they've given me, my brother, my sister, is they pushed us to just be the best you can be. And your best doesn't always look like somebody else's best.
Mm-hmm.
So they challenged us from a young age to try to be the best at whatever it is you want to do. My parents never pushed basketball on me. They just pushed sports. You learn a lot in sports. You learn a lot in a team setting. It teaches you a lot about life. So they push me still to this day.
Yeah.
This age, they still push me, asking questions, trying to get me to do more than what I'm doing. And I'm like, okay, but it's my parents.
Okay.
It's my parents.
Yeah, I bet. Trying to get you to do a little more. I know what that's like. Nobody want to hear you do more, but it's like, okay. But
you have to.
it means a lot. It really means a lot. Let me see. I guess the next question is, how are you using this difficult time to stay on top of your game? How are you able to recruit kids right now? What's one of the tricks, I guess? I mean, I know you, Britt. You usually are like in New York today, and then you're like in Texas tomorrow, and now everybody's in the house. So, what's one of the things you staying on top of your game that where you keep Virginia Tech girls program up on the top?
Calling kids, calling coaches, calling parents, calling anybody connected to kids. Mm-hmm. We also are doing virtual home visits. Okay. The virtual home visits are it sounds weird, but it's not really weird. It's through video conferencing. We use Zoom, and we do a lot of just like presentations of the school, of the coaching staff. So that's probably the biggest thing. We try to, FaceTime, mm-hmm. do that face-to-face time with them. But it's, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it would look like this in the spring. As I travel, I'm here or there. Going to see kids. So it just looks different. It was very, very unfamiliar, uncharted territory about 3 weeks ago, but now this is the norm. So okay, it's okay.
Right. Now, what I really wanted to say, I guess, is a spin off what we said a few minutes ago about motivating and inspiring, right? So now I want to talk to you, like we're going to tell kids what's one of the best ways for them to put themselves in that position right now in this time. Now, my suggestion would be you have your huddle highlight tape. You need to try to go on to a Twitter account because that's the best form of communication I like, and send it out to as many schools as you can. Never take no for an answer, and I mean that's what I would suggest. What would you suggest?
I would suggest doing that. I would suggest trying to build relationships with, regardless of the age of what year you are and how much you played, try to build relationships with coaches or people within other people's circles, because you never know what can happen 6 months from now. It's not going to look the same. Jobs will turn over. People go different places. So the relationship aspect of it, and just make yourself as visible as possible. I know I'm not that type. I'm very uncomfortable in that. I'm trying to do better. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to send stuff. They don't want to get feedback from people on certain areas, or what can I do better? How can I improve? But just ask people, just that you know who are going to critique you. And constructive criticism is the best thing. The best thing. The best.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we got any questions. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Britney Anderson, live from Virginia. Like I said, she's one of the top. When I call her, she ain't gonna pat herself on the back, y'all. She's one of the top girls basketball coaches in the nation, hands down. She outworks everybody. Okay, that's what she does. Yeah, I get it. No, anybody got any questions? Okay, man, you want to know how long she been coaching? I said that earlier, but I'll let her see if she want to answer it again.
It's okay. I'll answer. I have been coaching in college for 7 years. I've been coaching altogether for 13. That was a lot of math.
13 strong?
Yeah.
Woo. Tell your age now. Easy. Nah, so I get it. Hey, Hawk, that's an interesting comment you put up there, Hawk. If your age is higher than your GPA, don't bother on Twitter. That means you're not applying yourself. I also want to make this one thing I want to say. Oh, hold on. Let's see what this question is. I like this right here.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So the question is, if you can see it, I know I'll read it out. Who do you navigate through the coaches' world to try? Why is my phone wilding out? Who do you navigate through the coaches' world to try and get started after being a graduate assistant? Good job, Zaya O'Neal. Or how? She meant how.
After being a graduate assistant, I think the biggest thing is you have, as a graduate assistant, you have 2 years. 2 years to finish your degree out of that program as much as possible. The relationships, I'll speak to Zaire. Is that who asked the question?
That's Zaire.
I'll say it.
Big shout out Zaire O'Neal.
You played against a lot of coaches in your career. You have played against a lot of players who are now coaches in your career. You've had a lot of coaches recruit you before you went to college. You had a lot of assistants scouted against you, whoever else. Just start plugging away and start planting seeds, talking to people. This is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm trying to go. Can you help me? Allow people to point you in different directions. You're going to feel weird in the beginning. Truth be told, when I first started coaching, it was something that college coaching was laid on my heart, and I was like, I don't know which way to go. And I felt very uncomfortable in the beginning. but people remember you. People remember your name. You played at the highest level. That doesn't mean that you can't coach at the highest level. So people remember you. Just reach out to people, reintroduce yourself, tell them what you're doing with your life, see how they're doing. Because people like to talk about themselves. I don't care what anybody says. They'll talk about themselves. So open the door that way. But Zay, you played against a lot of people. You played against us for 3 years. So I know who you are.
Okay. That's Lady Bulldog right there. Man, I got another question for you if you want to answer it. So it says, okay, here we go. What coach inspires you to do more? I guess you told us about moms. So now you want to know if there's a coach that you kind of like looked at.
Honestly, I would say Bobby Kelsey. Bobby Kelsey coached me in college. She used to be the head coach at Wisconsin. She started the whole get your butt in the gym. I think it's camps now. But she stayed on me. She pushed me. She challenged me when I didn't feel like being challenged. She honestly made me a tougher person. And when I say tougher person, I don't mean like come at you, but just being able to handle more, grow thicker skin, because that's one of the areas I needed to grow up. Bobby Kelsey was the biggest one who like challenged me, helped me grow, and basically pushed me out there.
Okay. You want to check this one here? We got this one, nice one. While being an assistant, do you develop your own style of play, or do you piggyback? Let me go. Way to go. Or do you piggyback off of the head coach and develop your mind around that style?
I think today I would say if I were to become a head coach, there's different things that I've learned from people as a player and even as an assistant coach that I would create as my own identity, own style. You see why things work, you see why things don't work. But I think I would take accumulation of a lot of things and put them together as one, and then that's how I would identify myself, my coaching style.
You still rocking? Or you got to go?
Yeah, I can still go. Where do you envision yourself in 5 years?
I like that.
In 5 years,
master's degree. She gonna be bang, graduate degree, bang, bang. Come on, let it out. Let them know on DM. Let them know.
I hope to have finished my master's. It's been very, very trying time going back. I just have to prepare myself. I hope to be a head coach. I don't know if it's going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I don't know. I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not a 5-year planner. I know some people are. I'm not. I'm very big on, let me pray about it. If I'm supposed to do it, God, show me the way, open the door. If the door doesn't open, then it ain't time. There's a lot of inequalities in anything that you do. I think coaching, running companies, anything like that. One of the things you have to remember is your why. And I read a book. It said start with why. And I know why I do what I do, and that has to be the reason why I do what I do. And my why is these young ladies who look like me that are playing basketball. It'll always be my number one. It'll be at the top of my list every single time. But if you stay focused on that, then the other stuff, the inequalities and there's always going to be inequalities. But just because there are inequality, it does not stop you from doing what you feel like you're called to do at that time.
Eric Thomas has said that he had a nice little clip of what is your why. And once you understand what your why is, it'll drive you to everything that you're trying to get done in your life. Everything, My why is similar to your why. Like my young kids, that's my why. I feel like if I do what I got to do and do it, if I motivate them, put them in the right spots, they'll succeed. As long as they succeed in life, then I'm winning. Success is measured, in my opinion, like it's scaled. A lot of people, he's a champion, or he's measured because this person went Division 1. Now that's not. Success is unmeasurable, if you ask me. Success is one of those things where, you made it from, like you said, moms made them out of nothing. We got 3 kids doing great. This is success. And I always tell people, never label your success with what somebody else's success is. You gotta stay in tune. But I like that. Plant the seeds. Sound like a conversation we had earlier. Planting the seeds. Big shout out to Halls Mills Network. You can watch Halls Mills Network on Roku. They have online the app right there, www.hallsmillsnetwork.com. These are a group of brothers that I know, Britney, who have kind of started, three brothers joined together, doing a whole video production thing. Now they have like sitcoms and movies and everything, and now they have their own app on Instagram, not Instagram, their own app on Apple, and they also have, like, as you can see, a whole network. So if the people wanted to get a
I'm
Fire
gonna have
Stick,
to look it up. I've never heard. I learned that. Something
they
new.
got
There's
crazy
something
stuff going on.
Network.
I got a movie coming up, the movie. All of my young kids, I'm advising them to go see it. I'm now in tune with their dance moves. I really wasn't in tune with it. I seen you on your birthday, really wasn't in tune with it. So I was trying to figure it out. But Lit the movie is a good movie. Shout out to director Jamal Hall and Jamar Mills and C. Whitaker. Those guys are doing big things. Except you get some free time. We got nothing but free time down there, so you can go ahead and check them out. See, said follow them. Yeah, like I said, young brothers doing big things. I'm gonna get one more question to get you out of here. Cause I seen Twin sent me a question twice. I want to make sure that I get to him. I don't want nobody to feel like I left him out. What are you looking for in a recruit at the highest level? That's what it looks like you're saying. What do you look for? Oh, what's wrong? What do you look for in a recruit right now?
Let's see. I would have to start with their abilities, what draws you to them. Once you I've identified this young lady, she can play basketball. She brings something to the table that can help our team. Then you start looking at the other stuff. You look at the grades. You look at the attitude. You look at, is she coachable? Is she not coachable? And I think that's portrayed in the attitude. You look at how they interact with their coach. So if her coach is getting on her, how she's going to respond? Can she take it? What type of coaching can she take? Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, after we do all of that, and we're recruiting them, and we're looking at them, and seeing they can fit in, we pay attention to the parents. That's like the next thing. So we pay attention to the parents, how they interact with their parents. I'm a firm believer in respect. If you can respect your parents, you can respect pretty much anybody. Mm-hmm. Kids nowadays, not so much. It's different. But I honestly think being coachable, your attitude, your grades, and if you bring something to the table. We honestly don't recruit a lot of kids that do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So do you bring something to the table that somebody else doesn't bring to the table? That's not to say, other people have other philosophies when they recruit, but that's just what we do.
Right. That's understood.
Oh, this is a good one. Do you tend to look more towards private school players when recruiting? I didn't see the end.
Let me bring it back for you. So that's Rel. Rel wants to know, do you tend to look more toward private school players when recruiting? How do you feel about reclassifying students?
We go public and private. It's not, I don't say we say private more than public. We don't have any kids on our team right now that went to private school. They all went to public school. We'll have one young lady next year that went to a private school. What was the end of the question?
End of the question was, how do you feel about kids that reclass?
Everybody reclasses for different reasons. Some kids start school early and they can reclass to be with kids their age. Some kids need to go to prep school in order to get their grade situation right before they come to us. If you're reclassing for a developmental standpoint and an academic standpoint, that's fine. If you're reclassing so you can be the number one kid or the number whatever kid in that class, then I'm not a fan of it. Some people are, but I'm not. People reclass for different reasons, and that's not to say that it's an academic thing and stuff like that. So it just all depends.
Okay. Well, Britt, thank you once again for taking time out of your super busy schedule, ladies and gentlemen. This is the famous, I told y'all, world-class best.
I'm not famous.
All right.
I'm not famous.
Britney Anderson from Virginia Tech girls basketball program. Like, gotta give you crazy shout out, crazy love. I'm doing this thing right here. So listen,
You are.
we'll talk again. I know how our network is always on. If I had somebody dope, I'll shoot it to you. That's how it works. And we'll rock. All right, babes?
Bye.
Bye, y'all. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that was Britney Anderson, one of the assistant coaches at Virginia Tech. She is, like I said, amazing, man. Me and her talk a lot. She kind of gets me in tune with stuff, like I said, what I need to teach my young kids, because I always feel like this is where my kids want to go. Whether it's Division I or any level, it's college, and this is a college coach. So therefore, I need to kind of get in tune so I can get my kids in tune.